Hello and welcome to June. My name is Lynette and I am reading from the Love Exquisite Magazine. I'm reading in the section titled For the Love of Relationships. And this month, the article that I'm reading is titled Commitment. Commitment. Commitment is defined as the state or quality of being dedicated to a cause, activity, etc. In your relationship, how committed are you truly? How dedicated are you to the person and the purpose of the relationship? These questions challenged me to think about how committed I am when in a relationship. I've never thought about this question before until after I interviewed married couples on the Real Recognized Real Talk radio show. So I am a co-host on the Real Recognized Real Talk radio show as well. Shout out to Franchella, the host. And we're on every second Tuesday of the month, live streaming from our Facebook page, the radio show Facebook page, RRR Talk Radio. If you are interested, where we have different guests on the show where we cover different topics every second Tuesday of the month at 7 p.m. So I was interviewing the couples that were on the show. Shout out to all the married couples. And I asked an important question to me because it's something that I really, really, really wrestle with. And it's something that I really, really, really want to know so that I don't have to wrestle with it anymore. So the question that I asked was, how do you stay in a relationship past mistake? No, I won't say mistake. Past trying time number 3, like 3 strikes. How do you stay beyond 3 strikes? And it's not that I'm sitting there in a relationship counting the strikes. I'm not. It's just that I believe in second chances. So I do give second chances. If you're very, 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 very lucky and loved, if I give you a third chance. But that's something that I haven't been able to do. I do give room to make a mistake. And if you make a mistake, meaning one, I can get past that mistake depending on what it is. And then, but if I allow you back into my heart and my space and you make another trying time for me, I haven't been able to get past that other time. So I call it a third strike. So it's not that it's something that I set out to not do. It's just it's a real important question that I asked. And one of the couples on the show said something so profound to me that I've never even thought about. Her response to that question was, you have to be committed to the process. So shout out to Sister Talk Philly, because the young lady who is married to Adam, she's the one who responded with that response. And it makes perfect sense. And it had me thinking about how committed was I really to my relationship. And I mean, I was assuming that I was committed because I wasn't seeing anybody else. I was dedicated to that person. But her response made me think about how commitment is not just not cheating on the person. It's also being committed to making the relationship work. Now, I was doing everything that I thought on my end to make the relationship work. But when things don't always go the way that you plan for, how do you stick it out through the tough times? Depending on what those times are, I'll say that as well, because I'm not sticking around for abuse. I'm not sticking around for babies and all of that stuff. I'm not doing that. But I'm talking about, trying times. I can honestly say that every guy that I've dated and left, none of them did something so drastic that we couldn't get through. But I really just didn't know how to do it. So I was like, I'm the type of person who loves harmony, unity, and peace. And when that is disturbed, I don't know how to handle it. So my first response is to talk, communicate first, and see if we can go beyond that. Then if we can't, let's seek professional help, that a professional who can guide us through tough times. And then after that, I don't know, God, prayer, and listen, I really want to be able to commit to the process like I'm able to commit to some other things. So this one was real helpful for me, so I hope that it's helpful for you as well. So I'm not going to veer off too much of the article because I talk about some of the things that I was going to say anyway. So again, I haven't been able to get past strike 3. So strike in the context meaning after a person has wronged you in some way. So again, one of the wives said that you have to commit to the process. So be committed to the process. So this was an aha moment for me. It allowed me the opportunity to really look at myself in the mirror and ask myself honestly, have I committed in my past relationships? Have I ever really fully committed? And I can say, and I'm sorry for those of you who I dated and you're watching this right now, but I thought I was committed to you because I was not cheating and I was doing everything. You were the only person that I was seeing and with and doing everything with you. But I never thought that I wasn't committed because I was 1 foot in, 1 foot out. You know what I mean? Like it's easy for me to leave a relationship because I don't think I've ever been all in. You know, I never had both feet in. 1 foot was out, 1 foot was in. Like, okay, well, you know what I mean? So, which is not good. So I'm not encouraging that. I'm just stating something that I've been dealing with. So, in the aspect where I'm 1 foot in, 1 foot out, that shows that I'm not really committed to the process. So that's the point that I'm trying to make. So I now know that it takes an either all in approach or an all out approach. So for some couples, they believe that out is not an option. I'm not quite there yet. However, it is somewhere that I do want to try to be one day. And I hope that I'm with someone who is treating me so well that I want to be fully all in and committed to the process. So I realized the difference of me being dedicated. So this is what I critically thought about, because I was like, okay, well, am I ever really fully committed to anything? And I can say yes. In my professional life, I make true all-in commitments in my professional life. And I can honestly say that I must have never done it in my personal life because it's always easy for me to check out when I feel like I need to check out. So for example, when I wanted to pursue my college degree, I wanted to get a bachelor's, I want to get a master's, I was committed to the process and I stuck it out even though it took me so many years to do that while working full time. I was able to finish, meaning that I was committed to the process. I've earned degrees and some certificates because I've committed to the process. When I also wanted to start my business, I was dedicated to doing the research and finding out the how-tos, and I never gave up on the process and went on to launch my business because I was committed to the process. When I started this magazine, I had to be dedicated to the process to be able to do this every month without benefit or reward or compensation. It means that I'm committed to the process. You know, we're on issue 47 right now. So that means that I can commit. I guess it just takes work and time and effort to be able to commit to these processes. So it is as if I'm more patient with how things turn out in my professional life than I am in my personal life. So at signs of struggle in relationships, I have been guilty of looking for a way out, which lets me know that I was not really fully committed to the process. As I continue to pursue relationships, I want to be committed to the process. So I do want to really be committed to the process, which is why I asked the question, the how-to question. I want to be committed to one man that I can be comfortable. I can feel comfortable and safe enough to be all in with. and so invested in the relationship that I don't want to even think about an exit strategy. So making a commitment to someone might seem easy, and for some people it is. But if you are not fully committed to the process of going through ups and downs, it can be hard to stay committed. If you can relate when it comes to your commitment to your personal life versus your professional life, I implore you to rethink about what commitment means to you and how important the person that you are with, either dating or married, is to you. So how important is that? How important is that person to you, and is it worth it? So that I always have to lead with that. Is what you're going through worth it in the end? So it has to be worth it for me. I don't know about you, but it has to be worth it. So if he or she is worth it, make the commitment to be dedicated to the process. If you are not committed and do not want to be dedicated to the person that you are with, do them a huge favor and let them go, so that they can be with someone who is willing to be committed to them. So not being able to commit to your relationship, it doesn't mean that you don't love the person. It doesn't mean that you are a bad person. It just means that there's something that is holding you back from fully being committed. So whether that's you're afraid to be heard, or you're tired of being heard, or whatever the situation is, or you might have your eyes on somebody else, but it's something that is holding you back from that commitment, or fear of failure could even be something. So you may have to get yourself together and your emotions in check, and until you're ready to be fully committed to a relationship. So remove yourself from anyone or anything that is holding you back or depriving you from loving your mate completely. So whatever it is that's stopping you from fully committing, let that thing go. If you want to be fully committed, let that person go, that other person that you might have the hots for. Sometimes when you're in a relationship, you're always looking outside of the relationship for needs to get your needs met. But look inside of your relationship, and communicate on getting your needs met, on what your needs are. So make sure that when you are committed, you are making a commitment to the right person for you, and that he or she is committed to you as well. So you have to make a mutual commitment to be committed to one another. That is the article titled Commitment, written in the June 2023 issue of the Love Exquisite Magazine, which you can access for free at loveexquisite.com. If you wonder why I'm so jazzy, I'm being honored tonight at an award ceremony. So shout out to the Urban Elegance Entrepreneurship Award Committee. Thank you for my nomination, and thank you for recognizing me and how committed I am to my business. And one day, hopefully soon, I will be committed in my relationship. Looking forward to it. And I hope whoever you are, you're ready for me too. Have a good one. And thank you for listening.